Hey everyone out there in Facebook world, this is Barbara Hort with I Am This Woman. And wow, everything that's going on, this quarantine, or about to be quarantined, and everything that's happening. Can you imagine? I know sometimes I'm anxious. I woke up early this morning with couldn't sleep, couldn't breathe, what is going on with me? And funny enough, when I did wake up, I had someone, one of my coaches, she was doing a Facebook Live, and it turned into an amazing 2.5, 3 hours of learning and growing. So I would say this, you never know, right, where you're supposed to be, what's going on, and what's happening. So I would just say stay positive, stay fresh, stay new, and know that life is going to happen, and it's the way you deal with it and how you handle it. But I can say I Am This Woman will be here. We're going to keep on going. We're going to keep on doing. And we are super excited to have the show live today. Probably next Friday we might be, we might not be. We'll see how everything goes, because I also have faith that whatever's happening is happening in the world, and how we manage and deal with it makes a huge difference. So let's talk about my guest today. So my guest today is Trynette Lariba, and she was in a traumatic car accident which basically changed everything. And so what she's going to come on today is you're going to learn about how she spent her last few years creating and really honoring her truth. Now, she is a registered nurse focused on health and wellness. What I love about this, and when she said this, it just made me go, meow. And she says she calls herself a nursepreneur. And I think with everything that's happening and going on, we don't stop doing what we do. We just have to adjust to it. So everyone, welcome Trynette. Come on. Yay! 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 So excited. So thank you. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for braving the, whatever is going on around here, and being in a space this close, and feeling okay to do this, because we did talk about that, and I'm sure it's things that people are concerned about.
Right.
But life is still going on. As I kind of laugh, because as we look, there's a golf cart driving right by us, because people are still playing golf. They're still doing life. They're still living. They're still, doing the things that they do. So I would love to know, tell us about you, and how did you get here, and what is, Curvy Fit Chicks, and all of this fun stuff. I would love to hear the story.
All right, so awesome. Thank you so much for this platform, Miss Barbara. I'm so excited.
I love it. She calls me Miss Barbara. Really? Y'all. I'm going to have to take off my jacket. Grandma here. Miss Barbara. Okay. No, where are you from?
I am from Riviera Beach.
Okay, see, this is, I'm going to tell you like this. Miss Barbara is something I can see, because I say yes ma'am and no ma'am,
right,
and all of those things. So
right,
that's that grandma and you being
that's
raised.
Correct.
See, I knew the grandma kind of thing, because that's what happens. That's what we do. So please share.
Yes. So like she said, my name is Trynette Lariba. And
Lariba. I know. I was like, Lariba. It's names. I barely know mine.
That's all right. So I am the Curvy Fit RN and founder of Curvy Fit Chicks.
Nice.
And in a nutshell, what I do is I teach and serve curvy women by helping them to love their bodies, transform into curvy, healthy athletes, so that they gain the discipline they need to succeed in fitness and life.
That's really powerful, but I love you are the Curvy Fit RN.
Yes.
Wow. So you're a registered nurse.
I am.
Okay, but you don't work in a hospital or do anything. So this is you. This is what you're doing, and this is what I love. I love when anyone decides to take what they're up to, what they're creating, what they're doing, and say, this is what my degree was in. This is who I am. But this is also what I'm adjusting to, because where you get to step into what you are saying you want to be and what you want to do. So I think that's incredible, really powerful thing to do. Yeah. So how did this all come about to even think of, the Curvy Fit? Because, of course, people will say, well, how are you curvy and fit, and how are you this and that, and all of those things.
Right.
So what made you say, you know what, no matter what, I'm going to go ahead and do this?
Okay, all right. So she's getting in there.
I don't waste time. Did you get it?
She's like, jump into it. In action. So
Action. Yeah.
So, like Miss Barbara, and I'm probably still gonna keep saying Miss Barbara.
That's fine. I like Miss Barbara from now on.
So, like Miss Barbara said, I was involved in a flip over truck accident actually with my daughter, September 1st, 2016.
Wow.
And everything flipped upside down, for lack of a better word to say. So we were in a predicament where, you know, we had to have people come into our home and take care of us, which was absolutely mortifying. There's a loss, right? So I'm a nurse, but
not a good patient.
Well, look.
You're like, yeah, not good patient.
But Miss Barbara doesn't know I actually did hospice nursing, okay, for about 8 years. So I am very used to dealing with people going through the grieving process, you know, who are preparing, you know, to depart, you know, dealing with family members who are having a hard time, who are struggling, trying to figure this thing out, difficulty with home health, the whole 9 yards.
Wow.
Right? And to me, I feel like nursing is a calling. I don't feel that it should be something that everyone signs up for.
Yeah.
It needs to be innate in you.
Yeah.
And service is one of the things that God put in me. I mean,
I love that.
Yeah. So
I understand that completely.
Yeah.
Services for me is you know, it's like the essence that I breathe. It's service is so important. And I think I love what you said. Like, a lot of times you could look at that whole accident, like you said, it was like your life was flipped upside down.
Absolutely.
And I think we go through that. Like, people are going through that right now.
I'm sure.
People are losing jobs or trying to figure out what to do and making sure they have everything down to the basic necessities of toilet paper, right?
Right.
Someone has more than they will probably ever need in a lifetime.
Absolutely.
And others have none. And I think that is so powerful because it's not the fact that the accident happened, but when it flipped upside down, what you made out of it.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and that's a really powerful testament. So why is it that you've decided not to be in the medical field as far as a nurse or registered nurse, and have decided to create your own? And you know, look, I kind of know why I would create my own, but I would love to know what I know. I know what I would do, but what has it made you decide to do that?
So one of the things for me, I have been a nurse for a long time anyway, and I had always been someone that was more from a holistic approach anyway. And so as an advocate for patients, you know, I always wanted them to be on the least amount
of medicine
as possible. And, you know, going through this, you know, me going to healing, you going to the doctors and you going to these different things. Right. I didn't want the meds. I didn't want the meds. And so I gave myself just 1 week to be on, what did I think they had me on oxycodone.
Oh,
and
they couldn't even put me for 1 day on. I'm like, no.
I did, and I was just like, I tried not to, and the pain was so excruciating that I couldn't move.
Wow.
And I was so frustrated that I couldn't. So then I was more upset. Right. That I couldn't not take it, then just take it. It was it was no. So because it was like almost like a burn, so to say. So there was there was a lot of damaged nerve endings. So it was a lot going on. And the thing about, you know, in hospital, you know, we use a lot of different pain meds, and
I feel like it's a go-to.
Yeah, it is, but it's complicated.
Yeah,
it's complicated, and it doesn't really, depending on how the pain is derived and all the other issues that are going on. It really doesn't really touch it. You know what I'm saying? It still isn't.
Well, I still think it's a. I had Dr. Cherie on the show, and one of the things was powerful because she's a doctor and then was diagnosed with breast cancer, so she became a patient, and she got to see the other side.
The other side.
And when you see the other side, she says, so she's a big advocate now because she got lymphedema, so she can't practice, but she ended up becoming an advocate for a patient. And as one of my really close friends, her husband went through hospice and at his home and the whole thing. So that is tremendous for 8 years to see that, to be in that space.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think it changes your outlook on life also.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, it does. I think. Tell me, what was your being? There's one thing about, we all know that the time will come when we are going to die, but to be able, you know, and I've volunteered in hospice, so it was a lot of elderly patient, but I know there's younger people as well.
There are.
And then to spend 8 years seeing that, how did that change your perspective on life?
I think it just kind of reaffirmed things. You know, I grew up in the church. Still go to church. Still, you know, very active. And so for us, it's always at the forefront.
Yeah.
That, you know, at any day your time could come. You don't know when. Make sure you stay ready. Make sure you stay prepared.
Right.
Right. So in working in hospice, it was like, you know, evident. Because if you're not working in hospice and you just everyday life, you might not hear of a death, but you know, ever so often.
Sure. But
me, it's every day.
Right.
You know,
you're in the midst.
I'm in the midst of it every day, and I get to see how people change and how they transform and how they transition, and the beauty of death. Some people are so afraid of dying, but I'm not, because you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be afraid.
No.
It's just a transition. It really is, and it
It's
can be
so
so
important to
peaceful.
know
It can be so peaceful, and you can still maintain your dignity. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
and that's
so
really
glad
important.
you said that, because I think that, you know, there is no fear for me in dying. I think my fear is in not living.
Right.
You know, that's my bigger fear. My bigger fear is that I wouldn't do this show. My bigger fear is that I would say, oh, we can't do this now, or I couldn't live my dream. And to me, that is a slow death. It really is.
It is.
What was one of the biggest lessons? I know I'm taking you down a tangent, but I think this is so important.
That's okay.
We'll come back onto the road.
Okay.
But what is one of the biggest lessons that you learned, maybe from a patient or from seeing this regarding hospice? Like, if you were to say, this is my lesson for that, what is it?
My biggest takeaway.
I know I asked those questions.
One of the things I would have to say is to live now.
Yeah.
Because nobody that I have ever sat with, prayed with, sang with, or gave meds to was worried about, I gotta get to that other meeting. I wish. No, it's the experiences and the time, the quality time with people.
Yeah.
You know, and living the actual dreams that they had set for themselves. Like, those are the things that they miss and wish they had time to do.
It's so powerful, because I think that that's one of the things that I notice is that in life, I call it those moments. And then within the moments are these little seconds. And when you can embrace those, because a moment might happen, but it's those few little seconds that really capture what's going on that really changes everything for you.
Right.
And I love that. So now we're going to get back on the road.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's talk about Curvy Fit Chicks and tell us all about it.
So, piggybacking on what we were just saying, that was one of the reasons why I knew definitely Curvy Fit Chicks had to be born. Now, before the accident, I had already started writing out the plan for Curvy Fit Chicks. Okay?
Wow.
That had already began, and I already had this vision and everything. But
I love visions.
But did I press the gas and go?
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
I did not.
Wow.
I did not. You know, it was that, well, I gotta wait till everything is perfect. I gotta wait till, I wait till this is, wait till I have a logo, wait till I have this, wait till I have that. Look here, let me tell you, don't wait.
Don't wait.
Just go.
I love this statement. This is so important to know, and is that you don't wait. Because if you wait, like honestly, we're on my patio in 2 lawn chairs that with a little backdrop. And if I waited, I would never have done this, because I would have been like, I need the website, I need the logo, I need this, I need that. And instead, I was like, hey, I'm going to do a show. Want to be on the show? Yeah, I want to be on the show. Okay, sounds good. But if you wait, there's no guarantees. None. I love that. So you decided to go for it.
I decided to go for it because I was like, look, my life could have been ended. My daughter's life could have ended, but my life was spared.
Yeah.
And if my life was spared, that means God wasn't ready for me. And if he's not ready for me, that means there's still a purpose and a mission for me to complete here.
Yeah.
And so I better go now that I have this chance and fulfill the call that he put on my life.
Powerful message, because I think that, like you said, before the accident, you're like, let me get all my ducks in a row, my P's and Q's, let me do all this stuff I'm going to do, and then I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then this happens, and you're like, sometimes the wake-up calls, sometimes they shake you, and sometimes they literally flip your life upside down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So what is it about when you decided, I'm going to do Curvy Fit Chicks? Tell us a little bit about it.
So, Curvy Fit Chicks. Look here.
Uh-oh, watch out.
Let me tell you, okay, this is so important for me.
Yeah.
Because, I've always been that curvy girl. I just came out the womb with the curves, okay? Just came out.
The doctor was like, wow, baby got back.
Baby got back, okay? They laughed at me with the diapers on, okay? It was back in those days with the cloth diapers.
That's so perfect.
So I always, had the body type and, struggled a lot and had different ups and downs throughout, just life.
Sure.
Yeah. And tried many times to fit into the mold of what I thought healthy fit was. This slim, skinny, and I did ridiculous things, starving myself and, going on an 800-calorie diet and all this food.
You're like,
here.
The room is spinning, or is it me? Yeah.
And still trying to exercise. You're about to,
about to pass out.
No, if I just do 30 more minutes, all this stupidity. Like, look. So I had this, this epiphany, that wait a minute.
Yeah.
I don't have to do all of that.
Mm-hmm.
God didn't make any mistakes with my body.
Right.
This is the body he sent me with.
Right.
So this body can be great.
Mm-hmm.
And this body can be fit.
Yes.
And this body can be healthy.
Yeah.
As long as I'm working on being my best self and putting in 100%. Oh, it can do. Yeah. It can do some phenomenal things.
And I would say the deep down too.
Goodness.
Because I think, like right now is a prime example of how people are so nervous and scared, terrified almost, to the point that it's like, oh my gosh, it really does change it. So it's very interesting. It's like walking the walk, you know, and so it's not just to talk about it, but it's like this is it. This is it. Mm-hmm. And
I know a lot of people struggle with, what curvy and fit is. Right? And so that basically means that I have this curvy body. Mm-hmm. I can have the hips and I can have but they're not going anywhere, people. I just want to let you know. Girlfriend, it's not leaving.
The boobs. Oh gosh.
It's not.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, can someone please? They could do a drive-through and take some, but they're not.
They're not.
So embrace them, and there it
is. Embrace what your body is.
And be okay with you. And that's why I say what I Am This Woman is about is where you are right now.
Exactly.
Do it. Right now.
Right. So the body you have right now, you can work on getting fit right now. There is no, because I hear people say, and you can tell, you're a woman, okay, I'll come exercise with you. First, let me drop 30 pounds first.
Right.
Why would you need to drop 30 pounds before you exercise?
Moving your body, your heart, and especially right now, being outside in the sun, getting out, doing things.
Oh, that's so healing.
It's so healing. It really, really is.
Mm-hmm.
So what I love is, how do you get women to look past their objections that what kind of society has placed,
right,
and say, come on out, let's move. Yes, it might be like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm gonna die. That's just because you haven't moved your body. Like, you lift your arm, you're like, you're shaking, but you haven't done anything. So
right.
What is it?
Right.
How do you do that?
So there's a lot of mindset work.
I love this. Yes.
As you can probably imagine, there's a lot of mindset work that we have to go through from the beginning.
Right.
Because if you don't get this taken care of, nothing else starts. Nothing else matters.
Ever will matter.
No.
Ever will matter if you don't do that.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
You cannot. I don't care what you're trying to, if you don't fix this here, I can go down to 5 pounds and I will see still a over 200 pound woman.
Right. Please understand that, okay? Please know this. And it's so funny too, because usually this is blowing up with people making comments and everything. But what I love is that this being done is not for anything else but to, when you come on to see this later, understand that your mindset is everything. Everything. If you don't have the mindset to start the business, to lose the weight, to get the job, to be married, whatever it is, if you don't have that mindset, it means nothing. Nothing at all. I love that you start with mindset.
Yes, I start with mindset.
Drop my cards. Drop my cards.
I do, and a lot of people are like, oh, so we're not starting with any tea or pills or no.
We start with mindset.
We start with mindset, because you need to know who you really are before you can move forward in bettering who you are. You can't be lost in trying to, no.
How about you need to release all those toxins, all those thoughts, the fears, the not good enough, you have to, we do a whole thing with forgiveness. I love it so much.
Because first of all, you have to admit and acknowledge that you've done wrong to yourself. You have not, put yourself as a priority. You have not taken care of yourself. You have not honored your body as your temple. You have not, demonstrated the love that God has for you. You haven't demonstrated that love to yourself. And sometimes we don't demonstrate the love to ourselves and yet expect the next person
to love us.
But we're the example that they're seeing.
Well, my favorite is love me because you complete me. You make me the person I am and all that.
No, ma'am.
It's not, because that
no.
thing is, of course we have all the sayings, love yourself so you can love someone else. How about just honor who you are? Honor that you're on this earth for a reason.
Yes.
How many people get pregnant, don't have babies, people pass away, whatever it is, all this stuff is happening. So you're here for a reason.
Absolutely.
You are here. So if you really think about that, that you've been put on this earth for a reason.
Right.
And then for you to doubt that?
Right.
Like, for me, my God didn't make a mistake on Barbara.
Absolutely not.
Here I am.
Absolutely
and I think that's what's really something else. So I love you through that, and the forgiveness.
Yes, it's
forgiving others, and then most importantly, forgiving yourself.
Because we will find every reason to excuse other people, but when it comes to ourselves,
Lord, you get the bat, the chain. You be like, this is horrible. I can't believe you did this.
Right.
And you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
We make mistakes. Things happen.
They do.
And so I think that is such a powerful thing that you're doing. So then you get them in that mindset. You talk about forgiveness.
Right.
You're healing from the inside out.
We heal from the inside out, and there are a lot of wounds.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of wounds, and what we find is that there's layers to it. And so in going through this self-awareness and self-reflection and all of that, Yes, it brings up a lot of things to the surface that people have suppressed. And women, we can suppress some things because we learn how to mask beautifully.
Oh, no, ready? I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm like, we do.
Yeah.
But we've been taught.
We have.
And especially as women of color.
Yeah.
I think women of color, it's almost like your birthright. You come out and you get this handbook on, you know what, you don't need anybody.
Right.
You can do it all on your own. Right. Don't say too much. Right. And you will never look as good as. Right. And make sure you get the 30-foot weeds and do everything so that you can try to look as that.
Right.
And but no, get the safe job. That is what I grew up hearing. Get the safe job.
Right.
It's always, you're out of work. Oh, you know what? Oh, that job. How much does it pay? What you got benefits?
Exactly.
Get
the bare minimum. That is acceptable for us to do the bare minimum. And one of the things that we discussed in Curvy Fit Chicks is that we do the maximum. We do the absolute most. You know how people say, she's doing the most? We do the absolute most.
I love the most.
Because that's where you get the results. That's how you're going to transform. That's how you're going to get to the better you. You have to do the most. And that's the most work. Okay?
And
you have to.
Right. Yeah, and the better you is right there. It's right
literally
there. All you have to do is look, because it goes from here to, wait a minute. This is who I am, and it changes everything when that mindset clicks.
I'm telling you.
And the gratitude,
yes,
and all of a sudden the forgiveness clicks. It changes everything.
You mentioned gratitude. I just put up a video yesterday about gratitude.
I love gratitude. I love about being grateful. I am grateful in this moment with everything going on.
Absolutely.
I have done more work in 10 days than I've done in 10 months. It's crazy how much I'm accomplishing, how much I'm doing, and how much is happening. Unbelievable. So I love that you surround yourself with that. So how are the women reacting? What do you get when they say, first of all, yes to themselves? Right. Okay. What happens?
Oh my goodness.
Oh. Love.
Oh my gosh. They are like, I can't believe I waited so long to feel like this. It's like they feel like they're breathing for the first time again, and they're ready. Once that mindset clicks, they are ready, honey. There is no going back, because one of the things that we also say is, what is your why? And see, that's a whole nother conversation.
You're all in my head and everything. What's your why? What's going on?
And one of the things I tell them is we usually have to go back to the drawing board. Why? Because women start naming everybody else. Their children, their family.
I gotta be this. I gotta take care of my children.
And I said, that's not it. Until your why is you, until you can see that you're worth that and your value is in that, you're not ready.
I love that. I think that's such a powerful thing, and I love that what you're doing is, a lot of times it's like these women maybe will never go into the gym. They don't see it in their communities, whatever it is. And so what you're saying is you're creating a space for them to be able not only to get healthy, right? But it's mind, body, spirit, soul, like the whole package.
The whole thing.
And then that is a powerful thing to do. I'm like, wow.
It's important. It's important because we birth nations. Anything that a woman is given, she increases. So if she is a woman, a healthy woman, she's in a good headspace. Right. She's created those healthy boundaries now. She understands when it's okay to say yes and when it's okay to say no. She gains that discipline now. Right. You know what I'm saying? And now all of that energy is shifted into her home and into wherever she goes. You understand? Yeah. And it just... And it's infectious, and she can influence others.
Without a doubt. I think when you truly decide that you are saying, you know what, I am going to honor myself.
Right.
I am going to start to say, you know what, this is me, and I get to have this life, and I get to have the things I want. It changes everything.
It changes the game.
Yeah, it really does change the game.
It changes the game because
And no, the game. This life is a game. This
Yes.
life is something that's
Yes.
going on. So it does change it.
Look.
I love that.
and this is the body you have.
Right.
Do you understand? Like, you have to be happy with this.
Right. Because you can never get to that because it'll
No.
come back. And this is interesting when I say, if I talk about what I Am This Woman, what it's all about is, it is truly about the fact of it is that where you are right now,
Correct.
you are more than enough.
Absolutely.
You are everything you will ever need to be.
That's
right.
Yes.
And if you choose, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. That's okay also. But right now, if you could accept where you are here,
That's
then
right.
you can go to that next stage. You can go to that next level.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And,
Yeah.
and that's an important piece
Yes.
of the puzzle is where you are now.
Right.
Don't,
Yes.
you know, just
Stop trying to get to
stop
when
trying
the
to worry
30 pounds
about
come off. Then I'll do
right.
this.
Stop worrying about
Right.
30 miles ahead and all that. Just work on right now because
Right.
everything is a process. And just because you can't see
Yes.
the changes going on, they're going on.
They're going on.
They're going on. So just be happy where you are right now because trust me, when you get to the next stage, it'll be like, oh.
Well, I think also it's this way. How many people have gotten in an accident or something happens and then they're like, oh wow, I used to be able to do this and so then you miss what you know, here you had this.
Right.
You took it for granted and then when something happens and you're like, oh, I missed that part. I missed that.
Right.
And I think that makes it a really sad situation because then you feel, well, I'm here and now I can't do this. And I don't care whatever happens, accidents, whatever happens, you still can do.
Absolutely.
This is going on. You start to create. This is I look at this as a time of creation, a total time of creation.
That's right.
You know, I would love for people to get in that mentality that it's like, okay, here I am. Okay, it's changing. I'm home. I'm not going out to dinner. I'm not going to the movies. I'm not going shopping. I have time on my hands.
Right.
Yes, a little bit of social media, but we live on social media and then we're like, oh, I really wish I had that. Because to me, I love social media and then in turn, it's like you look at it and you're like this. Oh, my life could be.
Comparison.
It's like, well, so David DiGiorgio, who is one of my coaches, my mentor, amazing man, he has something called comparanoia, and he did a TED Talk on it. And he says that, especially our teens, they're so into that paranoia that they're basically killing themselves right over it. And I think that's the thing that we need to do is that understand that it's not just the teens because the teens grow up to be adults who compare. Remember, we got to have this car. We got to wear this. We got to be this size. We got to have this job. What's the first thing people ask you is, oh, what do you do?
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
I do so much more than what my job is.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I think those are the kind of things. So where do you see Curvy Fit Chicks going? Where do you see it going?
Okay, can I answer? Can I piggyback on what you said?
Oh, jump on it.
Okay.
Jump. Because, you know me, I start getting on a tangent. I'm like,
okay, so hold that question. Don't forget it. Okay, with the comparanoia and social media, let me tell you.
Yeah.
It's so much fakeness out on these internet streets.
Yeah.
And, you know, because I'm a nurse, but also I'm in Curvy Fitness, like, I can look at someone and I'm like, oh, that's surgery, and that's surgery. But the average person doesn't know that that's surgery. So they're coming on here and they're doing these squats and doing this, and they're like, I got this body with this waist trainer. I got this body with this lies.
Yeah.
Okay, it's lies. Because guess what? Even if you get that gastric sleeve or you get this in lipo, you still got to exercise, honey.
Yeah.
Well, there is no shortcut. There is no, I'm just going to skip to the head of the class. None of that.
Right.
None of that. And one of the reasons why we go through a longer process than other, groups or whatnot is because I need you to understand that you have to be dedicated to the process so that you can truly appreciate
and
learn the lessons along the way, because you haven't learned them then you're prone to make that mistake again. And if you've been through some tough stuff, you're not trying to go backwards again.
No. But we do go back. That's the problem. So you have to first of all get them to take their car to reverse, put it into drive, and go.
Yes.
So now as we go, where is this going to next? What is your vision for this? Where's your dream? Your like when you lay up at night and you're like 2:00 in the morning and you're like, this is what I see. You know, where is it?
Oh my gosh. Look, I see us all over the world changing the lives of women. I see us as an exclusive group. I like to say that we are an elite group of women because everybody is not going to do the most. Everybody is not going to take the time to learn their bodies. Everybody's not going to do that. So we're taking the time to be our absolute best from the inside out. So I want us to have chapters internationally.
Nice.
I want us to have prayer groups. You know, I want us to mentor the younger girls as well. So I want, you know, the chapters to be able to do those things in their local communities. I want us to have a fashion line. Honey, there is so much. A fashion line, because let me tell you, honey.
Yeah.
Honey, we're Curvy Fit, and I want you to strut the curves. Stop hiding.
Strut the curve.
Stop hiding behind those clothes, because I know I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there. And when you work hard for something, you want to accentuate that thing, honey.
Yes.
Because you worked on it.
You worked on it. And that's the thing. And it's not about how society or others say how you should look.
Oh, of course not.
Because it has nothing to do with that.
Absolutely not.
You know, because, you know, and I can imagine, because, you know, I look at your arms, so I know that you get the stares.
I do.
And you get that, you know, and so I think that what is so powerful is that people are going to look, people are going to stare, they're going to do that, but it's your confidence that comes across to say, this is who I am.
That's correct.
This is me.
That's right.
I think that changes it all.
It does.
Yeah,
because they
really
have
does.
no other, you know, there's no wiggle room for them. They have to accept you because you've accepted you.
Exactly.
And you're comfortable in you.
So I always ask people certain questions.
Okay.
And it's something that I think every guest that just gives me different things, and they always are like, okay. So first of all, how do you start your day?
Let's see.
I get up. No.
I love it. I'm like, let me be very specific, And my daughter knows I start opening up the phone on the Bible app.
I got mine.
And so I there's a devotion plan that I do, and then there's also verses that I do. So that is how I start my day, and then I go into prayer, because I feel like, you know, you have to be in a great mental space, and you need to start off being thankful. One, that you were even granted a new day.
A new day to do it all over again, or to try something new or whatever.
Right. You know, because, and maybe it's the hospice in me too, but I'm like, I know somebody did not wake up that day.
Yeah.
I know somebody took their last breath 5 minutes ago. And somebody else is grieving right now. And so I'm
so grateful for this
moment. Very grateful.
My friend Frankie, he always laughs at me. He tells me, he's like, this thing with this death in you, and he said, you're so passionate about like living because of it. And I said, because someone didn't wake up. Right. That this is not guaranteed. And all of a sudden, this morning, I was like, open your eyes. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I get another day? So that if you failed all the thousands and thousands of days before that, here's a brand new day to try it again. It's like that's probably why Groundhog's Day is probably one of my favorite movies, because he keeps on doing the same thing over and over until he learns. I must have seen it over and over and over, but I love the fact that you can come and grow from that. That you don't have to look. We keep on looking at what we did here, what we did there, versus how is today going to be a new day for me? And I love that. I love sharing that. All right. Oh, it's a good day. Now, what can you do to make the world a better place?
Be me. That is how I can make the world a better place, because as long as I'm walking my path and my purpose, those lives that are beset before me that are supposed to be changed by me doing what I'm supposed to do, then that's how I can change the world. Staying firm in what I'm supposed to do.
I love that
Just being
because
me.
the path, I think sometimes the path is for us to walk, and sometimes the path is for us to make for others to walk.
Absolutely.
And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
What is the one thing you do to live your life with purpose?
Oh goodness, the one thing. God, jeez.
I look at my list of 37 things that I
This Barbara always with this one, the one thing. I have to come back to saying, having a relationship with God. I know this is not that type of show.
do. This is type, you know what kind of show this is? This is God-based, because let me tell you something here. I wouldn't even be here to have this, to do this. So for me, it is. So I think the thing about this is I love whoever sits in that chair to be honest. And I am always so grateful. When I wake up, I'm like, God, thank you. You gave me another day. When he woke me up at 12:47 this morning so I could watch that impromptu webinar. All of this stuff. So for me, I think everything is God-based.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine it not.
I
think God's giving us a time out right now. I think
so.
I think he's saying, okay, you know what? I've let you guys run wild and free enough. Y'all get in the corner.
Okay.
Y'all all get in the corner. Get in your own corners, right? And you're going to be there for about 45 days, okay? And then maybe you'll learn the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you got it up.
Yeah, so that's I believe so, because as long as I'm connected to him, then
It's your source.
it's the source. Like you
It's
can't
the source. You can call it God. For me, it's this way. Call it God. Call it energy. Call it whatever you want to call it. But it's your source. For me,
It has to be.
it's God for me.
It's God
because
for me.
that's what it is. But I'm also respectful of others. But the bottom line is, it's still your source.
Right.
That's what it is.
Right. And yeah, if I'm not connected to him and listening to him,
Yeah.
because he created me, so who better to direct me? Who better to
And who better? Ready? This is my favorite. Who better to mimic myself after?
Exactly.
When I look at what's in the Bible, or when I look at things, I'm like Jesus to me, whether you believe he was God's son or whether you believe he was just a prophet, he still is a perfect way, because he sat with the lepers.
He did.
He's like, you come in here, we talked about it, and it's so funny, at the same time we both said, if you're comfortable,
All right.
I'm comfortable. And then you're like, I just want you to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And like, once we both were typing, I just want you to be comfortable at the same time. But I think that's what it shows to me. And it also shows to me his acceptance of everyone.
Right.
And his non-judgment. And
Right.
so I think that's such a beautiful example. But also, most importantly, he decided that there needed to be a Barbara on this earth. He could have decided there needed to be another type of Barbara,
Right.
but he decided this Barbara was the one that needed to be on this earth. That means, well, he didn't make a mistake.
No.
So then I'm not a mistake.
Absolutely.
So I completely get it. And when I ask that thing, because see, the one thing you do to live your life with purpose, people go, "What? I don't have one." Well, I said one, but it didn't mean you couldn't say, well, there's 12 or 15. That's our mentality to be in the line of having to, the
Right.
teachers say stand in line and do this. So for me, my motto is that women, when they find their worth and their value,
Mm-hmm.
it impacts their lives,
Yes.
their families, their communities, and the world.
Absolutely.
If you were to have a motto, what would it be?
Oh Lordy.
I know. I do the good questions.
You see, I should put me out there. I just want you all to see this.
I'm glad. That's right. But they know. When they see the replay on this, they're gonna be like, "Yep, she's doing her thing." Yes. So what is it?
I would have to say to live your life unapologetically.
You're gonna meet David. David, I'm gonna tag you in this. When you talked about the comparanoia, so he has a book, right? And so he talks about being unapologetic. That's the name of the book, being unapologetic.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And then talk about comparanoia, right? You have to, because he has such a great topic about this. So when you say that, it kind of freaks me out that like you're channeling David DiGiorgio, who's out in California in lockdown. I'm gonna tag you, David. You gotta listen to this. This is so cool. Okay, go ahead. Woo!
Right.
Be unapologetic.
Yeah, you have to live your life unapologetically and unashamed of
Yeah.
who you are, because in you being you,
Oh,
that gives everybody else permission to be who they are and to do what they need to.
hold up.
And to do what they need to do. And when we're all in alignment, everything else can go forth the way it should be.
So when you are who you are,
Mm-hmm.
it allows others to be who they are.
Yes. Yes.
I love that statement.
It does.
And it's so good. I mean, I say it all the time, but I think it's so important.
Mm-hmm. It is very important.
Yeah. And it shows through on how your energy is so funny. I was running around and woke up this morning and I didn't get a lot of sleep and everything. And when I was driving back here, I was just like, and then I'm sitting here with you and I'm just like, okay. And what I'm happy about is I was like, my chest, what's going on? And then I was like, would you calm your crazy self down? You're just doing 100 things. But I love the calmness here.
Mm-hmm.
I love, you know what is funny? Like I said, I usually have people who are watching live and they put comments and all this, but it's been very quiet. Like
Mm-hmm.
not one person has popped on, which is really, in a way, super beautiful right now for me, because it's a conversation with you.
Right.
And I get emotional, but it's a conversation with you that this is so important to have. So I love this space, and when people look later, know that thank you for allowing us to have this conversation. Because if it's one person watching or 1,000 people watching,
Mm-hmm.
or no one watching, this will still happen.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing about it. If there's nothing else here, it's that. So you're so cool. We gotta connect.
Absolutely.
I'm so glad that you watched. It was Yali, right?
It was Yali.
Okay, and I love Yali. Yali, I'm gonna tag you in this. You gotta watch this too. So that you watched Yali's, and then that you reached out to me because we didn't know each other.
No.
And I have to tell you, everybody who's been on the show before you, I've known. Okay, I've known all of them. I know them personally, or they're really good friends of mine, or something like that, or I've done classes with them. So you're the first guest
Oh, wow.
that has reached out to me to say, I like what you're doing. And you're validating to me, and you're saying to me, like, you are a godsend to sit in this chair and to say, Barb, what you're doing is the right thing. It is. So thank you. This means more to me than you could ever possibly know, that you said yes to sitting in that chair.
Oh, don't get me emotional too.
I can't help it because I never cry on my own show. I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but I want you to know that means so much, that you're letting me know that what I'm doing, that it's touching you, and I share it with you. I'm working on my website and building the brand, and I share it with you what it was about. And what I love is when I was on the webinar, they were asking, well, how are you going to monetize this, and what are you doing, and how do you do this, and how do you do this? But before you can even monetize, you got to make sure that people are even saying, yes, that's cool.
Right.
And what I loved is every time I told you something, you were just like, all right, Miss Barbara, go on. Yeah.
Right.
So thank you for that. That's incredible. That is my gift today. And I am so grateful. Oh, thank you.
You are a gift. This is going to go many places.
I feel really good about it. I feel great. And I love, too, because you're going to write a blog for us.
I am.
Which I love. And, the whole thing is about supporting women on letting their voice be heard.
Right.
And someone asked me the other day, it was a podcast, and they said, well, I don't know if you're the right person for the show, because we're asking about, how women have their voice. And I kind of laughed, right? Because I was like, well, you don't know me. She didn't know me.
Okay.
But what I said is this. I said, I help women to find their voice even in the whisper. So here's one of my last things that I like to talk about.
All right, yes, ma'am.
So Kobe Bryant passes,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And he played basketball for 20 years. And I saw a thing where he told his best friend, when the time comes and you retire, basketball is your first love. Figure out what your second love is, right? And for him, it was helping his daughter and helping the basketball team and really creating this mama mentality, right? Which is powerful. But the thing his best friend said that I thought was really powerful is he said in the last 3 years, like the last 3 years he really lived. So when I think about if it was 3 years or 30 years or 33 years, or for you, it could have been that day and that when the truck flipped. If you were to leave a legacy, what would it be?
Wow. So for me, look.
I know. I do a good.
You look here. I gotta steal these questions. Okay. So if I had to leave a legacy, it is and will always be true to you. Please be true to you. If you don't do anything else in life, I need you to be true to you, because it's just so much going on in the world, and people go down all types of directions and they lose themselves. But if you can be true to you, you can always, reassess, get back on track, and do what you're supposed to do. So I would say be true to you. Be authentic. That is so
authentic.
Like
important.
You have to, and that's just what I live and breathe. I'm one of those people. I either attract you well or I repel you altogether.
Yeah, I say thank you so much. Well, or my favorite is this, and this is what I've been talking about. Your tribe, your circle, your people. And I've had lately a couple people who I thought would always be in that circle have moved out, and so I'm so grateful that they were in, and I'm okay that they're out.
Oh yeah.
And it has changed everything for me. It's changed everything for me. So I love to be true to yourself, because what you're doing is you're teaching that to your daughter. You're teaching it to these ladies that you're helping. It's incredible. So if people would like to get in touch with you, and she's of course tagged on here, and we're going to share it on her page. And when you guys come back and look later, you learn if they want to get in touch with you. What is the best way?
You can always slide in the DM.
Oh. For the longest, when people are talking about sliding in the DMs, I was like, what is that? And then I was like, oh, now I get it. Okay. This is sometimes where I have these little moments like, oh my gosh, I'm really ditzy. Yeah, so before in life, when they do sliding in DMs, I'm like, what is a DM? And what are they sliding it into? And I'm like, I know. I'm like, okay, so we were talking because when it comes to marketing, here's the thing, when it comes to being creative, when it comes to creating things, when it comes to hearing your vision and helping to bring it to life, I'm brilliant. Social, not so much, but I'm learning tremendously, and if I don't know, I'll ask someone. So I'm really good about asking people, like, how do we do this?
Right.
So
you can hit up the DM. Or you can go all over the internet sphere. Yes, that's my made up word. The internet sphere.
I like it.
You'll find Curvy Fit Chicks. And you can also go to our website, which is curvyfitchicks.com.
Love it. Curvyfitchicks.com. Make sure. And I think what's so powerful and why I'm so grateful that you came on is, like I said, number one, because you didn't know me and you said there's something here, right?
Absolutely.
And also to share your message, because I think it's such a powerful message that you are healing people, the whole package. The whole package. And that makes it so much better when that happens. And I love that. Wow. Thank you so much for being a guest, and thank you for just being in this space and what you've created for me today. This is truly my gift for this month, is having you here. I have to tell you that.
Oh, no.
I have to tell you that.
I'm a thug now. I can't.
I know you can't. You gotta be too.
Okay.
But I appreciate you so much, and I appreciate this moment of. And it's funny. Usually the golf carts are whizzing by, the traffic is whizzing by, people are putting comments on here and everything, and for whatever reason, this has been the most peaceful, calm interview. And it has given me just the confirmation of what I'm up to. So whatever it is that's inside of you that you're bringing out, thank you for bringing it here.
Oh,
thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Thank you. Any last words?
Well, the last thing I want to discuss is I just want you to not only be who you are, but be confident. Be confident in who you are, right? Because it really comes across and it makes a difference. I mean, Miss Barbara she can tell you about business, she can tell you about marketing, but I'm telling you about your body.
Yeah.
And you've got to be confident and comfortable in it. You can't be feeling like it's lesser than because you're not where you want to be. You have to enjoy and appreciate where you are.
Amen.
Work on what you can work on, honey. Make it the best that it can be and keep it moving.
Yeah.
We are all evolving. We're all a work in progress. Who I am today is 10 times better than who I was,
just yesterday.
And this is the thing. Let me tell you this, Ms. Barbara.
Yeah.
When I was going through, the rehab and everything, I remember praying to God, I just wanted to get back to where I was. I just wanted to be who I was and what I remembered, not understanding that I needed to purge and have a rebirth so that I could be this better woman that He saw me to be. Like that life was so much bigger than what I had assumed it was. I didn't understand that I was working beneath the gift.
Beneath the gift. This is incredibly, incredibly powerful. That you're working beneath your gifts. And I say it's your essence. It's who you are. It is who you are meant to be. It is the gifts that have been placed in you. And I have this thing that is this conveyor belt, and here's your little self coming down, and God's like, I'm gonna put this in you and this in you and this in you. And then you get on earth and you lose your ever loving mind, and then you start doubting yourself.
Right.
Be who you are. And I think that's the thing, is that what I love for it first and foremost is that I absolutely love for women when they see that and when they say that. And so one of the ways we always close out the show is we always ask you to say your name and say, I am this woman, to them, because this is, I think, is so appropriate because this is who you are.
It is.
Okay.
So my name is Trynette Lariba, and I am this woman.
So guys, thank you so much, and stay tuned next week. I'm super excited for my guest who's coming on, who is how to take transformational training and take it over to Turkey and imagine another country about empowering women, because across the world we just don't have enough of that. It's like we have it, it's trickles. My favorite is it's International Women's Day. Honey, please. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Okay. So
with that being said,
that is so perfect. So guys, thank you again. Just in case, if you ever want to be a guest on the show, please reach out to me at Barbara@IamThisWoman.com. Again, Barbara@IamThisWoman.com. Please stay tuned. Our website should be up in about 2 weeks. We are looking for bloggers. If you're interested and you have a story to tell, please share that with us. There's going to be so much on there. Classes are coming. And know this much, is that if you're feeling down, if you're feeling like you're going through something and you need someone, there are people out there. This is a perfect example. You're a perfect example of when things are going on. So hang in there, love each other, be kind to one another, and know that this too shall pass. Thank you. I am Barbara Horde, and as I always say, I am definitely this woman. Take care. Bye.
bye.